So I thought I'd do something a bit different today. This is my office space and some of the books that I've got. There's going to be some on shamanic stuff there. Coming up, some on tarot, quite a bit on the Norse. And I do have a caravan where I see clients, but this is sort of my indoor space. And I thought I'd share, got a little altar there with some runic stuff, crystals, etc. And I thought I'd share some of the tarot books that have really influenced me. I start with 78 Degrees of Wisdom. It was the first book I owned. It's still a book I refer to. And if you read with the Rider-Waite deck, I just think it is a phenomenal book. I definitely underline and make notes in my book. It's complicated. It's a good book. If you've got a card, you want to really understand that card, that's the book that I would go to first. More in depth, only on the major arcana, is Jung and Tarot, an archetypal journey. I mean, this is phenomenal. Again, it's not the kind of book that you just read through. It's very sort of, it is very intellectual, but it really does bring alive some of the major arcana books. Cards. Again, as you can see, I'm very bad. I write all over my books because that's how I blend the knowledge. My best book on the minors is going to be Tarot and the Tree of Life. I've no idea whether these books are still available or not. Some of them I've had a long time. I think this one is. This is beautiful. I mean, this to me, I've got staff notes in there as well. There you go. Just shows that both sides of my life are totally blended. This to me was the book that made me realise that actually understanding the minor arcana is the key to being a good tarot reader. And so often the majors are covered and the minors are kind of just, something added on at the extra. So that book I love. If you're looking for something just nice, simple, quick to read, the only tarot book you'll ever need. Generally, I don't like such simple books, as it were, but if you're looking for a simple book, I'd say that one's hard to beat. On the other end of the scale, Tarot Decoded, Understanding and Using Dignities and Correspondences. This, it's not my way of working. I don't really work with dignities. I don't really work with astrology particularly, but there are times when having a basic understanding, you can see there's just loads of charts here referring everything around, it can help. If that's the way you like to work, this is a good book. It helped me to look at the cards from a different perspective, and I think that is a real key to being a good reader. Paul Foster Case's book, Tarot Cards and Their Meanings. I loved this book. This book really unlocked some of the symbolism for me. This is major arcanas only, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a book that will really explain the symbolism of the major arcana, I found that fascinating. I don't even know how I came across this book, Tarot and Psychology, Spectrums of Possibility. I love it. I mean, this is much more of a psychological book, talking about psychology and archetypes, and I would say it definitely influenced how I read the cards. Whereas some of the other books influenced how I understand the cards, I would say that would be a key one that influenced how I read the cards. It would be wrong of me to not mention Philip Carr-Gomm's Book of English Magic. Big book, as you can see, but there is a whole chapter here on the tarot, and of course he's got his own tarot deck, which if I just shuffle things around here, I actually do have my Thoth deck out. I don't read with the Thoth deck, but to me the sweet point of really understanding tarot is to compare Thoth with I have my trusty Rider-Waite deck there, finding where those two say similar and say different. That I think has been a mind-opening experience for me, though I still only read professionally with Rider-Waite. And then Philip Carr-Gomm's deck, I'm sure many of you will have seen me use it or come across it. It's the Druidcraft deck, modern deck, absolutely beautiful. So that's just a quick rundown of some of the books that have influenced me. Other ones that perhaps I haven't mentioned that I should have done. I really love Tarot Dictionary and Compendium. That compares different tarot decks. I run a business, so there's business books there as well. And yeah, I hope that helps. It feels kind of weird doing a slightly different video like this, but I will upload this and hopefully it'll give you a heads up on some great tarot books. I do have a couple of tarot books on Amazon. They're only ebooks at the moment. I'm still working to get them created into actual physical books, but it's definitely a project that's underhand.